Hello, St. Matthew family and friends. My name is Sue Feldman, and I'm here to share some updates with you from the Reconciling in Christ Discernment team. As we enter into the wilderness of our Lenten journey this week, we will be praying and asking, where is God leading us, and in whom will we see God revealed? For our St. Matthew congregation, we'll be entering into a time of learning and looking for God in our encounters with others, as Jesus modeled in his life and ministry. This is the first of 5 videos you will see during worship. Today, I'll be giving you an overview of how we got to today and what it means for a congregation to become open and affirming and reconciling in Christ, publicly welcoming and affirming lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, questioning, intersex, and asexual people. People in these communities often refer to themselves as LGBTQIA+. Our upcoming videos will include personal stories and conversations from other folks in the discernment process. After Lent, other videos will be shared on a periodic basis too. Over the past few years, we've been exploring what welcome looks like, inviting others to Christ's table. We studied the book, The Turquoise Table, and discovered that welcome and care happens one relationship at a time as people gather and connect with one another. We've also had conversations that have raised our awareness that not everyone feels welcome in our churches. We have learned that the Lutheran Church also is one of the whitest denominations in America. These learnings have made us ask the question, what is it about our faith practices that makes people not feel welcome in our churches, and how can that change? At the beginning of last year, there were several folks at St. Matthew that learned of a Lutheran organization called Reconciling Works with a program called Reconciling in Christ, and they wondered about the possibility of St. Matthew becoming a Reconciling in Christ congregation. These folks approached the church council and asked about forming a task force to look into this program. In January of 2020, the church council approved the task force, and this group got together and planned education and information to begin last Lent, along with congregational discussions. Well, we all know what happened next. We entered into our time of pandemic. During the time of pandemic, our discernment team has attended meetings and classes and workshops and learned even more about open and affirming ministries. Our team also listened to and learned from people in the LGBTQIA+ community and their experiences. We also sent out information to the whole congregation about Reconciling Works and open and affirming ministry congregations last September. That brings us to where we are right now in Lent of 2021. Our congregational discernment process will begin with learning through these worship videos and also other communications we'll be sending out to you. An open and affirming congregation with an RIC designation is one that supports full participation for LGBTQIA+ folks in all aspects of the life and ministry of the congregation and community. Beginning in this Lenten season, we will be asking you to pray and continue to think about, what does God's welcome look like? In an upcoming communication, we will be asking, how have you felt welcome? What did you learn? How did you encounter Jesus in other people when you did feel welcome? As you think about these times of welcome, we would ask you to send your responses in to us so that out of our congregational responses, we can use them to craft some possible welcome statements for all of us to consider. We will also be asking you what questions you would like to have addressed. Your questions can be answered generally in an upcoming video or personally by a team member if you prefer. Please know that our team is still learning, and your thoughts, questions, and doubts are all important. If we all share our perspectives kindly, it will help us discern the Spirit's direction together. As we continue this discernment journey, sometime down the road, there would be a vote by the congregation regarding the adoption of a welcome statement. If the welcome statement is adopted, we would submit a request to Reconciling Works to be considered for the Reconciling in Christ designation. When approved, a congregation can display the RIC logo on websites and church communications. And that logo looks like this. Just like a AAA logo says something to people about the quality of a hotel, the RIC logo is a visible indicator of the beliefs and values of a particular congregation. Our church name then would also go into a Reconciling Works database so that LGBTQIA+ folks could find and consider attending St. Matthew if they are looking for a church family. Once again, an open and affirming RIC congregation publicly supports the full participation of LGBTQIA+ people in all aspects of the life of the congregation and community. As we journey together and we share our thoughts, we'll be having holy conversations. Each one of us is a child of God. We have in common the love of Jesus and the desire to bring others to know that same love. At times we may disagree, but we can learn and grow together without being disagreeable. We can listen to understand another's point of view, always having the goal of being and sharing the love of Jesus. And so we begin our Lenten journey of 2021. May God bless us as we strive to love one another better. Blessed Lent.